long end he went to.
Number 2, defenseman Alexander Gusev. Number 3, Vladimir Luchenko. Number 4, defenseman Victor Kuskin. Number 5, defenseman Valery Vasilyev. Number 6, defenseman Gennady Zygankov. Number 7, forward, Captain Boris Mikhailov. Number 15, forward, Vyacheslav Solodukin.
According numerically,
Number 9, forward, Alexander Volchkov.
confusing the way they.
Number 10, forward, Victor Kukarigin. Number 11, forward, Boris Alexandrov. Number 8, forward, Alexander Maltsev. Number 13, defenseman Alexei Volchenkov. Number 14, forward Vladimir Popov. Number 18, forward Vladimir Vikukov. Number 21, defenseman Sergei Glaskov. Number 22, forward Victor Shlukov. Number 23, forward Alexander Labonov. Number 17, forward Valery Halamov. And number 20, goalie Vyacheslav Tretiak. And the head coach, Konstantin Loktev.
He's playing with the Soviet wings. Tony, remember like that first.
Yeah.
And the Boston Bruins. Number 1, goalie Jilbert. Number 30, goalie David Reese. Number 6, defenseman Daryl Edderstrand. Number 20, defenseman Dallas Smith. Number 22, defenseman Brad Park. Number 23, defenseman L. Sims. Number 25, defenseman Gary Doak. Number 29, defenseman Joe Zanussi. Number 8, forward Ken Hodge. Number 10, forward Jean Rattel. Number 11, forward Andre Savard. Number 12, forward Wayne Cashman. Number 14, forward Dave Forbes. Number 17, forward Bobby Schmutz. Number 18, forward Hank Nowak. Number 19, forward Greg Shepard. Number 21, forward Don Marquardt. Number 24, forward Terry O'Reilly. Number 27, forward Doug Gibson. And number 9, Captain Johnny Busick.
Big John, давай.
And the coach of the Bruins, Don Cherry. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our organist, John Calley, will play the Soviet national anthem, to be followed by the American national anthem, which will be sung by Miss Lindsay Heames.
Now comes the traditional presentation of gifts prior to this hockey game. And as usual, plaques presented by the Boston Bruins, the NHL member club with the Boston logo, in exchange for a pennant from the Central Red Army Club of the Soviet Union. Our coverage of Super Series 76, Game 6 continues in just a moment.
The officials for tonight's game, the referee is Victor Dombrowski. He's at center. He is the visiting official. Shluktov goes to center with Alexandrov on one wing and Vikulov in the other. And the puck is cleared into the Soviet zone, and immediately we get an icing called against the Bruins.
kind of surprised, Brian, that they started Rattel, Marcotte, and Schmutz against that line. I thought they'd play him against Karmelov for sure.
Soviets, everybody up on the face-off. Dallas Smith behind the net. Vikulov doing the forechecking. Park cleared it out. It goes to center. Lutsenko to the other side. Broken up by Dallas Smith and Rattel. Cleared it into the Soviet zone. There's Schmutz in there against Lutsenko. It's stopped by Park. Park takes the shot right on. And Tretiak is traveling from the net. And it's cleared away by Zagankov out over the line. And a golden scoring opportunity for the Bruins as Park intercepted that pass-out. The Bruins again clear it in, and it's Park knocking it in along the wing. Lutsenko losing it, and it's recovered by Alexandrov. Here's Rattel with a weak shot. Marcotte goes to the corner. Back to the point it comes to Park. He tipped it in there for Schmutz. Schmutz trying to center it, and he hit the net. The Gankov for the Soviets ahead. Luktov has it, and he's called on the offside.
Phil, tremendous pressure early in the hockey game by the Boston Bruins as Rattel and then Marcotte missed from point blank.
It was a great opportunity, but you notice how Brad Park came in there and really cut off the play. Here's an interesting pair-up, Karmelov and Cashman. They had a little bit going in 72.
I guess I remember that.
And we have Maltsev at center. Mikhailov on one wing. Bruins keeping it in. It's off a leg. Cashman bumping in the corner against Gusev. They struggle. Maltsev gets it. It's stopped by Shepard. And a shot goes off Gusev. And the Bruins going to the attack here. Here's Cashman abusing his shot right on. Tretiak making the save.
Tretiak, the Red Army goaltender, getting up as we watch this replay, Phil.
That Chief's in the favorite spot of mine when I play with Cashman, and he made a good shot. Tretiak made a great save.
Now Shepard tries to get the shot away. There's Busick. Vasiliev clearing it ahead. Harlamov dashing in on that right side, dropping it back, and Busick takes over. Mikhailov getting it back to Harlamov at the line. It's stopped by Shepard to Busick. Busick back for Shepard, picked up by Busick. Over to Cashman going in. Back to Shepard going in on goal. And the shot goes off a player. Edistran shoots it. Now Mikhailov getting a break. Mikhailov going right in on goal. And an electrifying save by Gilbert. Tremendous save by Gilbert. Here's Cashman back in over the Soviets line. He's mixing it up with Vasiliev. Mikhailov out to Harlamov. He's in over the Boston line. Harlamov shoots, and Gilbert again with a big save.
Two brilliant stops by Gilbert from the Garden in Boston. Super Series 76.
Face off to the right of Gilbert, who has been spectacular. Lobanov, first time in the series, he's working on the boards. He's out there with QIWI again and Popov. Now Kushkin played it to the line. Dallas Smith intercepting, going in. Off the boards, Forbes, and he slashes it wide. Here's O'Reilly going in against Volchenkov. It's behind the net. A mix-up between O'Reilly and Volchenkov. Dallas Smith keeping it in. There's O'Reilly around the Soviet net. He centered it. And Volchenkov cleared it behind the net to Kushkin. Up to Popov. Back it goes. Into the center ice area. Lobanov. Savard got a piece of him. Volchenkov clearing it to Lobanov. Off his leg to the board. He's knocked down by Dallas Smith. Volchenkov to Kushkin on the far side. Kudyigin for the Soviets. Lutsenko now on the ice. He turns at the Soviet line. Played it into the center ice area. Looked off to Popov down in over the Boston line. Here's Popov. He's turned around by Dallas Smith. And Forbes comes up with it. His pass goes down the ice. And back after it goes Lutsenko. The Bruins and the Soviets scoreless. Marcotte fell against the Gamecock, who tried to line up Barry Dose.
Game getting quite physical, Phil Esposito.
Well, as long as they keep hitting like this, the Bruins, and keeping it clean, and don't get penalties, stupid penalties against the Soviets, they'll be all right.
Here's a replay and a hit here. And this is the longest in any of the three Army NHL games that has gone without the first goal being scored. Schutt scored for Montreal at 3:16, and at New York it was Vickers after 21 seconds.
Right.
Smott's on with Rattel and Marcotte. Dope cleared it around the boards. Here's Marcotte in the corner getting set. He centered it. A shot in second set to Rattel, and he couldn't pick it up. The Soviets clearing it out. Edestrand drifting it in. The Gamecock going in against Rattel. Into the corner. Here's Rattel trying to get it loose against the Gamecock. And the play is stopped. And Brian and Phil, I have Schmotts out there with flip-flops.
I'll tell you one thing, that number 6, you know, when we first saw the program, they said he was 5'9". That's Sagankov. He's about 6'2", I think.
Just a typographical error.
Now there's Schmott chasing it to the board. The Gamecock cleared it out on it is Schmott. Heads back, takes the shot, and he rattled it off the Gamecock's leg. Luchenko to Alexandrov. Schmott is in there. Now Edestrand on the left side, couldn't get it. Schluchthoff knocked it to center, comes up with it himself. The big fellow is in on the right side to Alexandrov, and he hit Edestrand. Here come the Bruins at center, and it's shoveled in there by Edestrand, and he was bowled over and went sliding into the board.
Well, forechecking, Phil, has been the story for the Bruins so far, and they've effectively throttled any chance the Soviets have to get out of their own zone on many occasions.
Well, I'll tell you, Brian, this is the line now that they have to stop. That's Maltsev, Mikhailov, and Karmelov. NHL team so far, and if they can stop them, they'll be all right.
And the Bruins up on the face-off. There's Park flashing 3 or 4 feet wide. Busey getting it back to Park. He winds up and drops off the rebound. And it's cleared by Gusev. Now Mikhailov trying to work out. He's stopped by Shepard. Busey tried to move in there. And it's Gusev hitting Harlamov. He's bumped by Busey. Park tried to keep it in. Now Busey hits it into the corner. The Gusev in there. Shepard after him. There's no score in the first period. Now it's Maltsev hitting the Bruin line, trying to get through there. And Shepard knocked it into the center ice area. Gusev to Vasiliev. Into the center ice area to Maltsev. Over the line. Harlamov going in. And that quick wrist shot went off Gilbert. Has he been hurt?
He looks as though he's shaken. Tonight's game is coming to you from the Garden in Boston.
Lining up for the face-off to the right of Gilbert. He was shaken up on that wrist shot by Harlamov. He went off to the side of the net, but he's okay now. He has been outstanding. He pulled off 2 beautiful saves. The Bruins out shooting the Soviets 6-3 so far. Now Vasiliev in on the left side, the shot right on. And they're deadly accurate with these shots. Here's Shepard up on the left wing, dropping it back. And there to pick it up was Vasiliev, but it was offside. They're quite accurate with these shots, Phil, just like you.
They are, well, but I'm kind of surprised that they aren't putting like a Marcotte or somebody, a little bit of a better checking line against that Maltsev line, because that's the only line that really does a lot of trouble, you know, a lot of problems, causes problems for the NHL guys.
That's Edestrand back there. Popov is on with Lobanov and Kutyrkin. Forbes for Boston with Savard and O'Reilly. They shoot it in. Here's O'Reilly losing it. Kutyrkin coming down on the left side. Popov over in the other wing, going in a goal. Popov. And he was checked neatly there by Savard. I think it was Savard who did the back checking and knocked the puck away. There's Savard. He just got away from Volchenko. Now over on the left side, Forbes takes the long shot into Tretiak. Volchenkov in behind the net, got away from the check. It's cleared ahead by Popoff. Down the ice it goes. The Gilbert getting it up on the left side. There's Savard with Ford. In over the Soviet line. There's Ford. It's shot right on by Savard. And what a splendid save that was by Tretiak. Lobanov a shot. And doing the split was Gilbert. And it was wide. We've had excellent scoring opportunities in this game. And there is icing against Boston.
Great action so far. And Phil Esposito, what about the fast break of the Russians? They're getting a lot of one-on-one and two-on-one opportunities.
They break out so quickly that if you don't really contain them in their zone, they have a guy hanging around the blue line and bang, as soon as they give them the puck, the other guy's coming up late and they've got a 2-on-1, a 3-on-2, and they do it extremely well.
No score in the first period. 12 minutes and 7 seconds left. There's Smots for the Bruins hitting Rattel. He flicked it in, going in after it against the Gankov. They jam in on the board. Smots is looking for a loose puck. Smots has it. He tried to center it, and it went through the crease. There's Brad Park. Now Rattel is after it. Rattel feeding it back in. And the Bruins on top of the Soviets here. Rattel bumping, gets it over to Smots. He spun around. Here's Rattel. Park takes the shot off the glass. Over to the left side. Marcotte. The Gankov is after him. Now Vikulov goes in there too, and we get a stoppage in play.
Yeah, we're coming up to half a period. We have not yet had a penalty in the hockey game. Victor Dombrowski, the Soviet referee handling matters tonight. This is Super Series 76 from Boston.
Face off to the right of Tretiak. The Gankov clearing it out. The Shlukov is spun around. Now Rattel feeds it back in. And again, the Bruins go on that pattern of forechecking. No score in this, the opening period, but both teams have had glittering scoring opportunities. Now Vikulov forced back into his own zone. Feeds it to Shlukov. Alexandrov had vacated that left side, and Park takes over and was almost intercepted by Vikulov. Now Rattel over to Smots. To Rattel. Rattel trying to pass it, and it hit a leg. Smots was upended with a good solid check. Now it's Dallas Smith clearing it back into the Soviet zone. The Bruins are making changes while the play goes on. Now Busick is after it. Passes it to Smots, and it's offside at the Soviet line.
The Russian player at the blue line made a great check on Smots, and I think it killed the play because Marcotte was open on the left side and without him.
It is Maltsev, Harmelov, and Mikhailov for the Soviets. Busick, Shepard, and Cashman for the Bruins. Puck is in the center ice area. Goke slashes it back, and it's over the glass. And there's not much room in the crowd to duck tonight.
I don't think so. This reminds me of 1970. First year we won the Star. Yeah, because one game against these guys is not enough. I remember they beat us 7-3 the first game in 72.
10 minutes and 12 seconds remain. Now Boston going in. Cashman going to go to keep the goal post. Cashman right in. There's Shepard shooting it right on. The back away on it. And Cashman thought that he may have not been in, but this Tretiak is picking up where he left off in Montreal on New Year's Eve, but he was helped by the goalpost.
Well, a tough night for Cashman, too. Watch him hit the post here.
Good shot, too.
And he comes right back, Phil.
Here it is, watch. Here's a rebound. He just whacks at it. Good play. Tretiak made a good play.
Soviets clear it out. There's Vasilyev. A long left wing pass. Gope stopped it. Cashman over to Busey. He hops in over the Soviet line, and it's knocked off his stick. Mikhailov over to Harlamov. There's the quick shot, the rebound, and Harlamov missed on the rebound. A great chance. There's Gusev, a shot knocked down by Cashman. Here's Cashman getting a break. Cashman going right in on goal. Couldn't get the shot away. Vasilyev came back after him. Here's Busick. Back it goes to Edisbrand. To Shepard. To Busick. Back to Shepard. Here's Gary Joke into the corner for Cashman. Cashman going after it. And there's the pass to Mikhailov. He's coming down with Harlamov. Over the line to Harlamov. Beautiful passing. Now Edstrand bunts Harlamov. Cashman is knocked down. Out on the left wing at center is Ford. In over the line. And Kuskin knocks it away. Ford takes Kuskin in on the board. Gusev at the line. Ahead it goes to center. McMillan is after it against Park. And Park played it out. 8 minutes and 42 seconds left in the first period. A great first period of hockey. And there's no score. And there is Popov. Ahead it goes. Kuk-Jürgen trying to get through there. Now, Lobanov is tied up. Here's O'Reilly. He lost his stick, and he kicked it into the Soviet zone. Volchenkov ahead to the line. Lobanov down into the center ice area, spun around by O'Reilly. Lobanov and Forbes started a shove in front of the Bruins bench. There's a shot by Tavares. And Kuskin was lining him up for a shot.
But Kuskin took the brunt of that one.
Yeah, he did, but I'm going to tell you, the Bruins are starting to get a little bit chippy now. And they better not, or else they're going to get a stupid penalty.
With 8:04 remaining in the first period, the score is Soviet Red Army nothing, Boston Bruins nothing.
It is Gibson, number 27, on for Boston. Smoss took a shot. He hit Kuk-Jürgen. Now Popov dashing down on the right side. Jammed under the play by Marcotte and Edstrand. Doak on the right side. Smoss was hit by Volchenkov. Kuk-Jürgen. Pass intercepted by Marcotte. And he brought it in on the offside.
Boy, the checking is fierce at times, Phil. You see all the little tricks when we're so close to the action. The sticks coming up a little bit, digging in.
We don't know. Kuskin was giving the referee a little heck. We don't know what he was saying, though.
It was in Russian.
Vasiliev is being administered to. Now here's Gibson with it for Boston. The pass goes to Edstrand on the other side. Edstrand out to Marcotte, a backhand shot. Blue puck in front of the net, a scramble. And they hold it out. Moss was doing some rather vigorous shoving in front of the Petyak.
No, Daryl Edstrand's playing a strong game for Boston, Phil. He kept the puck in. Schmotz had another excellent scoring chance, somewhat reminiscent of the game in Montreal when the Canadians had so many excellent chances.
Well, on that replay there, Marcotte would have got the puck a little bit on his forehand. He would have seen, watch Schmotz throw a left hook here. Oh, I guess you don't see it. Here's Edstrand right now. Great. See, it just was a little bit too far in front of Marcotte.
Here, right in front of the net, a shot, hit the goal post. Shepard hit the goal post. It was up fairly high, but I'm almost certain he hit that goal post. We'll see it on a replay. That's the second time tonight the Bruins have done that. Now it's Cashman up on the left side. There's Nowak going in against Gankov. Gankov to Alexandrov on the left side. Sukov. He gives it to Vikulov. Vikulov shoots a quick one. Gilbert is down. And how quickly they get those shots away.
I'll tell you, Gilbert is really playing a strong game tonight, Danny. He is standing up to every one of these guys' shots, and that's the best I've seen a goalie play against them so far.
We've had 2 goalposts hit. Here's that play again. The shot that Gilbert made a stop on. At the other end, just moments earlier, Shepard hit the goalpost, and they're certainly painted the appropriate colors here tonight, those posts.
No score. First period. Cashman knocked it to center. Duchenko firing it ahead, and he missed Vikulov. Dallas Smith to Cashman in over the line. And it picked us to Gankov. It's Vikulov. Alexandrov on the other wing. Now to Shlukov going in. A backhand low shot. He wasn't wide by much. Here come the Bruins. Nowak down on the wing. Puts on the brakes. Alexandrov taking over for the Soviets. They jam in there. Gankov comes up with it to the other side to Alexandrov. Alexandrov losing it to Cashman. Here's Cashman in the corner, centering it to the other side. Hart into the corner for Cashman. Cashman getting it back. It's at the line. Dallas Smith, a high-rising shot. Here's Cashman around the net. Cashman still with it. The Soviets start out. Alexandrov to Vikulov. Vikulov coming out, and it's called. We have 5:53 left in the period.
Game 6 of Super Series 76 is coming to you from Boston. Well, your old buddy Wayne Cashman looks tired, but he's been playing super hockey.
He's been playing absolutely great. I think he remembers 72 when he got hurt in Sweden, couldn't play in Russia.
Savard, O'Reilly, and Forbes for the Bruins. Edderstrand lobbed an easy one over the line. Maltsev, Harlamov, and Mikhailov. Maltsev weaving his way in. Backhands it in, and Gilbert taking no chances, pulls on.
Well, there's not been a goalless period in this series so far, and the shots on goal to date, Boston 12, Red Army 8.
If I had a line to choose to play against the Maltsev line, it would be Savard, O'Reilly, and Forbes. And that's what's happening out there now.
On the right side at center, O'Reilly hit Forbes with it. Forbes going in. Weak shot. And Tretiak covers up.
Bill Tretiak likes to cover up on the puck. He doesn't leave anything to chance around his net.
I can't remember, but in 72 whether he did that or not, but in 74, I think Jerry Cheevers covered up an awful lot, and I think he took a little lesson from Cheevers.
Now O'Reilly. He hits Savard with it, digging it out. Here's Savard trying to center it, and the Soviets start out. Mikhailov headmans the puck, and it's over Harlamov's stick.
So dangerous. Coming up in our intermission, we're going to have a feature on...
He's a darn good hockey player, too good to be sitting on a bench.
Rattel, Hodge, and Marcotte for the Bruins. There is Park with it. He hits Dallas Smith. He swings it out to Rattel. Rattel shooting it in. Hodge is going in on the right side. And against Gusev. It's stopped by Park over to Marcotte. Marcotte a backhand shot. It's like a double net. And Rattel hit the side of the net. Here's Hodge. Hodge behind, trying to set it. He's in front of the net. And Rattel hit Tretiak. Here's Park. Park from the corner. Park trying to get the session against Vasiliev. It's centered. Mikhailov starting away, going down against Dallas Smith. Back to Harlamov. And he passed it to an open wing. Now Maltsev follows up, goes to the other side, bodied by Marcotte. To Vasiliev, cut by Hodge. Hodge ahead to Rattel. Rattel trying to drop it back. Rattel still with it. He centered it in front. Tretiak down. Now Vasiliev is hit by Hodge. Vasiliev is knocked off balance by Marcotte. Hodge has it taken it. Oh! A tremendous save by Tretiak. How does he do it? Now Harlamov coming out with Mikhailov. Harlamov over the line. Going in, spun around by Dallas Smith.
I knew it.
And the penalty is coming up.
First penalty of the hockey game goes to Dallas Smith. Remarkable goaltending from Tretiak from the Garden in Boston. Super Series 76. Well, let's look at that penalty back. Dallas Smith.
Well, I'm going to tell you, he could have called about 4 or 5 other penalties, and he called one like that. My prejudice is showing, I think.
And the Soviets, they have a tremendously potent power play. They have Shluptov, Alexandrov, Vikulov, Duchenko, and Sagankov. Now Park in behind the net, gives it to Forbes on the left side, and he sends the Soviets back down the ice. We have Shepard and Forbes and Sims along with Park defending for the Bruins. Now Alexandrov on the right side in over the line. Back to the line, it's not over. Duchenko at his own line for the Soviets. There's Vikulov watching Forbes, who is doing some forechecking. No score. Here's Steppers feeding it to the other side. And the Soviets start out. Shluptov is over the line. Getting set to Sagankov in front of the net. And Sims cleared it. Now Vikulov getting set, trying to get it in front. Shepard knocked it away. Sagankov back in, it goes to Vikulov to the side of the net. And Park with a stick on it, and he knocked Alexandrov down. Good work by Brad Park. Now Brad Park mixing it up with Alexandrov. There's back to Luchenko. He takes a shot. Alexandrov and Park looking at each other. They go into the boards heavily. And a penalty coming up to Alexandrov.
Alexandrov took a swing at Park. The referee saw that, but moments earlier, his back was turned when Park took a swing at Alexandrov.
Yeah, but at that play, particular play, I wish we could see the replay. Alexandrov went over Park and gave him the cross-check. He's been the most aggressive player I think I've ever seen as far as the Soviets go. I think maybe it's because he's so young and he's sort of, you know, getting the style of the NHL. I really believe that.
He's only 20.
He's a heck of a hockey player.
Soviet penalty to number 11.
Are you kidding me?
Boris.
Here it is here.
Watch again now. This is the end of that play. Earlier, Bill, we saw
Park throw a punch.
Time of the
Then,
penalty, 17
it
minutes.
started off anyway behind the net,
seconds.
and they were really going at it. I thought they was going to call him for both, to tell you the truth.
Alexandrov for roughing at 17-20.
Dallas Smith has 43 seconds left in his penalty. Alexandrov just starting, so they are 5 aside, and there is no score. Now here's Gibson over the line, back to Schmutz. He shoots into the upper corner, and it was a tremendous shot. Here's Schmutz again, shooting it right on. That time Tretiak was in front of it. The Bruins at this stage out shooting the Soviets 17-8. But don't think that Gilbert hasn't pulled off some great saves too. He has. Now Mikhailov chasing it back into his zone. Vasiliev gave it to Mikhailov to the other side. Here's Schmutz with it. He shoots. Oh, how did he get a piece of that? He has robbed Schmutz 3 or 4 times. Gusev on the corner. Now the Bruins with the advantage. Alice Smith is up the penalty box. Harlamov got away on that right side. He is a smoothie. Passes it over to Mikhailov. Mikhailov and Harlamov, and we have 55 seconds left in the penalty to Alexandrov. Harlamov shooting it down the ice. Coach Don Cherry sending out to Rappel. Cashman, Park, Schmutz, and Everstrand stays out there. Here is Park into the center ice area. Pass over to Cashman into Soviet territory to Rappel. Has shot and he fired it wide. Here's Schmutz. Schmutz getting set. He centered it. Everstrand going after it. It comes to the side of the net. And Tretiak holds on.
Big story in this period has been the play of Tretiak, as you might expect, off his previous performances.
He's really playing well, and I noticed that, and you don't notice it playing against him so much, but he is down quite a bit on his knees. A la my brother, Kenny Dryden. You know, Dryden goes down in that sort of approach when he can't see the puck and all that, and Tretiak does the same thing.
Now in the period, 1 minute remaining. 18 seconds left in the Alexandrov penalty. No score in the first period. Brad Park fakes the pass. Now he holds it, hands it off to Everstrand. He flicked it into Soviet territory. Rattel behind the net. Here's Rattel on the boards for Hodge. Hodge has it around the net. Hodge still with it. He rolled it over to the other side. Alexandrov is back on. Here's Brad Park working the corner, centering it to Rattel. And it's hooked away by Shukov. Goes to Vikulov. Vikulov losing it to Hodge. And Hodge gaining a degree of popularity here at the Boston Garden. Here's Rattel coming in the shot. And it was blocked by Tretiak. Luchenko to Alexandrov. He almost put it on Rattel's stick. On the left side. Glukov hops over the line. To Vikulov, a shot. And that one went off. He's Gilbert.
Still no scoring. First period from the Boston Garden. Just 4 seconds left in the period.
Danny, I think that one, Danny, went off the crossbar. Not Gilbert. I think it hit the crossbar, and if we had a replay, I think you'd see it just ticked the crossbar, I think.
Well, let's see if we can get that replay.
So if that's the case, it'll be two goalposts and 1 crossbar this period.
Boston leading 2-1 in that department, but there's no score in the game. Boston having hit the first place, and now the end of the first period, and I think everybody enjoyed that demonstration of great hockey by 2 teams.
An absolutely
great effort.
An absolutely great hockey period. I think nobody could be disappointed with that effort of both teams. It was unbelievable.
Shots on goal by the Boston Bruins, 19 by the Soviet Red Army, 9. And that's the most shots by a team in a period.
Celebrating their 50th year this year. This Boston Garden, the locale of a most interesting international hockey game tonight. And this is a sellout crowd, no question about it. They're standing 4 and 5 deep. And I don't think they'll go away disappointed. even if nothing happens from here in, because they've seen so much in that first period. And you know, Phil, remember, it's nothing that scored any goals. Would you agree that that was just a great one?
That was one of the best hockey games I've ever been involved with and I've ever seen.
There's Victor Dombrowski, your pal, Phil. You'll be seeing him, I guess, from time to time in future years.
If I ever see him again, I'm going to get him one of those little things with a button so he can press the red light.
For the Soviets, Shlupkov, number 22 at center. Alexandrov, 11 over on the far left wing, and Vikulov, 18 on the right side. Rattel is centering for Boston. Marcotte and Schmutt on the wings. Marcotte shooting it in, and there's Schmutt. He had 4 shots on goal in that first period. He goes after his man. He's bringing it right in front. And it went off Rattel. He really didn't have it. And it's back into the center ice area. Harlamov also had 4 shots on goal in the first period. Now Vikulov is chasing it into Boston territory. Smith touches it, and that's icing against the Soviets.
4 shots on goal out of 8 isn't bad, that's for sure.
John Rattel of Boston Bruins also was a 4-shot man in the first.
Keeps that Savard line on Maltsev's line because I think he's going to have to.
From the face-off, back near his own line, Dallas Smith ahead on the left wing boards. It's propelled in gently by Marcotte. Duchenko taken into the corner by Rattel. Now there's Clark going in after. Clark shoots it to the side. And it ricocheted over the glass. And the scramble, a souvenir of this game is something, I guess.
Well, Danny, you heard Brad Park tell Bill Good Jr. that he thought the Bruins would skate even better in this second period. We'll have to look forward to that.
You noticed the minute that Bruins made a change and put Shepard's line out there, the Russian guys threw out Maltsev, Mikhailov, and Karmelov.
Now Cashman, his pass gobbled up by Harlamov on the right side. Here's Maltsev, and he's picked check by Edderstrand. Maltsev trying to center it. He does. And flopping out there is Gilbert.
Well, I think very much that I just can't help, and I'm repeating myself, but I feel that Don has to put Savard's line, who's the second line, to stop these guys.
It's Doak in behind the net. 1 minute and 2 seconds have gone by in the second period. Edderstrand up to Busick. He tipped it, and it missed Cashman. Now Shepard is going after it against Gusev. They go into the corner. Shepard up in it. Vasiliev cleared it. It's stopped by Doak. Back in behind the net, and Cashman missed it. Here's Busick, the big chief from the other side. To Edderstrand, a shot. And off the stick. Gusev, there's a shot by Cashman right on. And the Bruins forechecking the Soviets again. Vasiliev up on the right side. Doak back into Cashman. Here's Cashman flicking it. And it went off Pretziak. It's high in the air again. Maltsev getting it out to Harlamov with Mikhailov. They're in over the line. A shot, a weak shot by Harlamov. Shepard golfed it down the ice. That's going to be icing against the Bruins.
Oh, he's tired. That's why he golfed it down the ice. They're really forechecking, eh, Brian?
Well, they are, and I think that Cashman was also tired once in the first period. Tonight's game is coming to you from the Garden in Boston.
To the left is Gilbert, number 10, to Diegan. He's out there with Lobanov and Popov. It's Savard, Forbes, and O'Reilly. Hark in possession. He's chased back by Lobanov, laid it on the board. Forbes was jammed out of the play. It's back into the Soviet zone. Volchenkov being watched closely by Savard. Now it's stopped by O'Reilly. In for Park. It's off his stick. And Dallas Smith waiting for Forbes to get back onside. He hit O'Reilly. He lost it. It's picked up by Dallas Smith. Smith in over the line. He carries on to the corner. Here's Smith getting set. He still has it. Twisting and turning on the board. Now it's to the other side. Over there goes Lobanov. Lobanov is boarded by O'Reilly. Forbes coming back and shot it.
Bill Esposito talked about a break. Bill, you were talking about a break just as we started this period. There it is.
That's the big break. Like I was saying, that Kretschak, here's the play here. Forbes just shoots it in desperation, really. Kretschak makes a mistake. The puck's in the net. But we were talking about Suchak, how good he is from in close. Maybe he sleeps a little bit like some of the goalies in the NHL do. Maybe he is human.
Well, we were beginning to wonder, but he misjudged a shot from the corner, or a pass from the corner just moments before that goal, but suddenly the Bruins are on the scoreboard, leading 1-0.
And play is on again. Boston 1, Soviet no score. Now there's Rittel along the board. Here's Schmutz chasing it around the Soviet net. He centered it, and the Army team starts off. Vikulov coming in on the left side. He goes to the corner against Edistrand. Rittel is bumped by Alexandrov. He got it to Doak. Doak up on the left side to Marcotte. Now there's Alexandrov. He's dropped to the ice by Schmutz. Here's the penalty coming up. It's a hooking charge against Schmutz.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Live from the Garden in Boston, Super Series 76. We're back at the Boston Garden, ready to resume play with Bobby Schmutz off for hooking 3:31.
So the Soviets on the power play. Vikulov and Sims along the boards. There's Alexandrov chasing it to the other side. Zagankov getting it over. Yuchenko winds up for a high drive. There's Shlukov trying to get it back, and it's stopped by Shepard. He shoots it down the ice. We have Forbes and Shepard, Sims, and Hart defending for Boston. And Vikulov hitting the Boston line. Shlukov has it. Getting it back to Gonkov. A shot. Kicked out neatly by Gilbert. Here's Forbes, and he shoots it down the ice. A minute and 10 seconds left in the penalty. Good forechecking there by Forbes and Shepard in the Soviet zone. Rink wide pass gobbled up on the side by Vikulov, going in against him. Into the corner now against Brad Park. And they get a stoppage in play with 54 seconds left in the Schmutz penalty.
Well, you notice how they're passing around, but here comes the line now out there. Maltsev and Karmelov and Mikhailov. And these guys will pass the puck around like crazy. I'm glad to see Dunn making a change because I think Shep and Forby are a little bit tired. And
they did a good job while they were out there.
They did.
It is Gusev and Vasiliev out of your picture. They're on the point. Now it's center right in front. They score! Harlamov!
Harlamov did it.
Shot.
And it's a tie hockey game as Harlamov with a quick backhand shot catches the corner behind Gilbert. Here it is, Phil.
Well, what happened was Al Sims and Brad both overskated the puck a little bit. Watch on the faceoff. It's just lying there. Al Sims overskates it there. Then Brad goes after the guy, and it's just a quick backhand shot. But there's what I mean. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that was a rotten penalty. But if you get a penalty against these guys, they're so dangerous.
So it is a tie hockey game. Tied at 1. There's a pass from Vasiliev. It goes down the ice. Etta Strand is after it. And that is an icing call against the Soviets.
Valery Harlamov, Danny, 27 years old, scores for the Soviets. He scored 125 goals in 174 international games up to this season.
An amazing hockey player. Here's Cashman trying to work in from the faceoff. Now it's back to the point to Doak. He feeds it behind the net. Maltsev clearing it to Vasiliev. Back to Maltsev. Now Busek is going after it. Maltsev passing it ahead. It's down the ice again. Edistrand. Mikhailov after him, and Edistrand made the contact. 14:44 left in the second period.
Bill, let's take another look at that goal by
A good goal scorer like Mikhailov.
Now it's slapped back in. Gibson reaching for it. Ashman gets it up along the wing. Harlamov ahead to Mikhailov at center. He's bumped by Cashman. Harlamov waiting for Mikhailov to get onside. Mikhailov and Cashman having words. Here's Gibson going in. He centered it right in front. And it's picked off by Maltsev. Ahead it goes. Harlamov is over the line. Now wheeling back on the right wing is Cashman. He picks it up himself over to Busick in off the boards. He missed it. Cashman couldn't get it. Harlamov digs back in on the right side. Back to Mikhailov. He puts on the break. It's into the corner. Eddestrand. Ahead to Busick. Soviets keep it in. Now it goes to Mikhailov. Mikhailov around the net. He tried to center it and he hit the net. Eddestrand ahead to Cashman. With Busick, the veteran Bruins are in over the line. Busick gives it to Savard. Back to Busick in front. And Gusev was there. Vasiliev cleared it. Now here's Savard. Savard with it. Getting set for a pass. And it was deflected by Gusev. Busick getting it back. Brad Park cleared it in. It hit the referee and Petyak had to clear.
This crowd is really alive at the Boston Garden.
I think that Cashman and Mikhailov have something going. This dates back, believe me, sounds like old history, but it does date back to 72 in Toronto. And Mikhailov speared Cash. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, Cashman's not the cleanest player in the world, but Mikhailov's one of the dirtiest hockey players I've ever played against as far as spearing and all that's concerned.
Now Brad Park, there's a shot. And it ends up in behind the net. Here's O'Reyli digging it from the corner area. O'Reyli shoved along the boards by Volchenkov. They struggle for it. In there goes Savard against Kuzgin. They fight for it. And they go down, and there's a whistle.
A lot of energy being expended, and looking ahead to Sunday afternoon, watch for it, Philadelphia and Red Army, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the CBC.
I hope it doesn't happen. Well, there's Carol Bad.
Now Kuzgin trying to shake off Savard. It's behind Zaladukin. Playing it up, and it's intercepted by O'Reyli. Back to the point to Park. In for O'Reyli. Oh, right in front. And he couldn't make that good contact. The Bruins still pressing the Soviets. Here's O'Reyli around the net. He centered it in front. And Savard was upended. And the Bruins supporters reacted on that. There's Park clearing it ahead and went over the glass.
I don't blame them for reacting on that one. Looked like football there. The guy tackled him.
The crowd screaming for a penalty after Savard was pulled down right in the goal crease.
But you notice how this line of Savard, O'Reyli, and Forbes hemmed the other team in the zone. And this is what I think you have to do, and that's why I think they should put him against Maltsev's line. Because they'll forecheck him so much. Oh, listen to this. The Russian raspberry.
Now the Soviet. Yuchenko coming out at center. They're broken up. Vikulov recovers into the center ice area. Hands it off to Shlukov. He couldn't get anywhere. Vikulov with Rattel after him. Vikulov is in over the Boston line. Marcotte comes up with it. Marcotte with Schmutz on the right side. It's off his stick. Schmutz got by Luchenko. Bumping to Sagankov in the corner. Now Shlukov starting out at the line. Alexandrov at center. In on the Boston line. And Eddestrand cleared it down on the left wing. Luchenko back there after it. Forechecking Rattel. Zagankov up on the right side to Vikulov. Vikulov coming in against Dallas Smith. Who took him out of the play effectively. Now centered out. Shlukov is shot. And he's wide. Alexandrov trying to center it. And it hit Dallas Smith. Now they go to the board. Marcotte clearing it out. And they're taking turns of pressing each other. First it was the Bruins and then the Soviets. Luchenko over on the other side. Alexandrov. Back it comes to Zagankov. He dropped it back. Mikhailov is on the ice. Maltsev is coming on. So is Harlamov. Now, at that, the area outside the line cleared in offside by Marcotte.
This is Super Series 76 from Boston.
Each team has scored a goal nearing the midway mark. Cashman shooting it. It's bouncing in front of the net. They bang away at it. No goal. Let's see. out they come out of the mix-up. Here it is.
It is a high stick, though. Let's see whether they hit him. I don't know. You can't tell whether they hit the puck or not.
I think Kretschak just held it out, and, oh, wait a minute. The face-off is coming outside the line now.
Here's another one.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Did they hit it, Danny?
I don't know. Shepard took a swipe at it. It's very difficult to tell whether or not he made it. Face off outside the Soviet line. Brad Park with the long. Vasiliev in behind the net. Face up, but they can't get it out over the line. Now Harlamov did. Dallas Smith took over and handed it to Nowak on the offside.
Kretschak seems to be a little shaky on those long shots right now.
I was noticing it. Did you notice that last long shot?
He's not handling cleanly like he was before.
Out over the line. Harlamov missed it. Down the ice, Gilbert had to clear it. Now Cashman. He missed Shepard. Now Park back into Cashman. Try to feed it in front, and a good defensive play by Park. Here's Nowak down on the left side.
Sound trouble is temporary.
Here's Maltsev. Maltsev centering it himself. Puck that shot off Dallas Smith's leg. Right in front of Karlova. And he scores! Mikhailov is down on the ice. Oh, come on.
That's Mikhailov, I believe, Danny. And it was Cashman who swung around at Mikhailov. After the goal was scored, Harlamov picked up his second goal to put Soviet Red Army in front. Let's watch on the replay.
Watch what happens.
Brilliant shot again by Harlamov.
Mikhailov with Jülber there.
There's the goal. Now watch Cashman, upper part of your screen, if we could just carry that along. There's Cashman taking a swing out of your picture, and down goes Mikhailov.
Yeah, it was a good two-hander, I'll say that, but I don't think he's as hurt as bad as he thinks he is.
And the Bruins are short-handed. Cashman in the penalty box. Nikulov upended by Brad Park. Here's Alexandrov. Alexandrov getting it back. Shrukov back it comes to Zagankov. Yuchenkov. Zagankov again. Here's Shrukov centering it. They play for it in front of the net. And finally Sims propelled it out over the line. A minute and 20 seconds left in the penalty to Cashman. The Gamecock starting out. Keeps it up to Alexander at center. He knocks it into the corner. Nikolov, he's trailing for a shot. Gets it high into the air. And it's back down the ice. Starting out. Gets Maltsev with him. In over the Boston line. Vassiliev around the net. Gets it back. Corralling it to the other corner. He's centered it right inside. Salamov takes the shot. Nikolov has the front board. Here's Boston coming out from the field. He has scored their goal. Walker number 12 set it in. And that's out is Dallas Smith firing it to the corner. Behind the net with him after him. Under center, Dallas Smith, the mark shot going in on the left wing. Volkov getting out in front. Now Volkov starting down. He's got by Park in on the left wing. A great move by Park. Over to Scott. Scott puts it through there. And it's cleared by way out, Volchenkov up on the left side. He shoots it in. And it's Dallas Smith clearing it to the line. Zagankov into Popov. A shot wide by Volkov. Now Marcotte. In possession for Boston to Dallas Smith. Less than 5 minutes left in the second period. The Soviets 3, the Bruins 1. Park beats it to Dallas Smith, and the veteran defenseman cuts in on the left side. His shot hits Zagankov. Now Zagankov working his way out. Down with Popov. Alexandrov cutting in on the right side. Takes the shot. Centered it. And Gary Doak was the goalie there. And very coolly cleared it. Now on the right side. Smots over the line. Here's the Smots into the corner. He's been outstanding for Boston tonight. Now he goes to the other side. Zagankov tying him up and clearing it out off Gibson's stick. Nikolov is down there against Edestrand. Here's Cashman on the left side. It misses Marcotte. Zagankov up on the left wing. Cashman blocked it. He keeps it in. There's a pass in front. And a Russian seems to be there every time in front of that net. Alexandrov, he's in over the line with that head fake. And he loses it. Edestrand twisting and turning from the corner. Down on the right side. Rolled it ahead. And Shepard finally picks it up. Gives it to Cashman. Cashman to Busick. Here's Busick with Shepard. and this time Vasiliev was there with his stick. Vikulov on the right wing. Trying to center that. They're getting it out there, but it's cleared. Here's Shepard getting it back, and it went by Cashman. Harlamov in over the line. Harlamov into the slot position. Vikulov missed it. Brad Park taking his time. He spun around, and a penalty coming up. Lukov is going off. Gilbert is out of the net. He's Lukov for a hooking.
Game 6 of Super Series 76 is coming to you live from Boston. Schluchtov out for hooking, and Danny, we understand we're having some audio problems. We're trying to get that rectified as quickly as possible.
I'm jinxed here. I was here for a radio game a month ago, and we had an audio problem.
I can't hear you, Dan.
In any case, Hodge shoots it right up. He scores!
Rattel on the rebound. Rattel gets the Bruins back in the hockey game with 2:29 left, Bill.
Great play here. Kenny Hodge. He gets on the ice for one shift, makes a great shot. The rebound is there, and Ratty is right there to poke her home. Beautiful. Right here, watch. At number 5, Vasiliev, is it? He's getting away from Rattel instead of taking a bot.
You mentioned before the power play started that the Bruins had stopped shooting that side of that red line toward Boston territory. Now a chopping high shot by O'Reilly. He centers it. Knocked down by Dallas Smith. Smith now chasing it toward the corner behind the net for Ford. He goes to the other side against Volchenkov. Now O'Reilly centering it. And behind the net it goes. O'Reilly still with it. Out it comes to Ford. He shoots it in there. And Kuzkin cleared it. Popov rolled it out over the line. O'Reilly back to Dallas Smith. The Soviet, the 3. The Bruins 2. Volchenkov to Popov. Back it goes to Solidukin. Solidukin playing it to the point. Kept in by Ford. This line works tremendously hard for Boston. Savard, O'Reilly, and Ford. Now it's down the ice, Eddestrand after it, and they go back into Soviet territory for the faceoff.
That goal by Rattel has brought the Bruins back to life after they might take Marcus Welby's magic hands to revive that young man, but suddenly a few seconds later he was back on there.
Bruins, everybody up. Doak chases it, cleared it to the corner. Lutsenko failed to clear it out. Here's Cashman shooting it, and it's off the corner board. Starting out over the line. Vikulov ahead to Alexandrov. Cutting in. Takes the shot and a good flick save by Gilbert. Cashman clearing it over to Busick. Back for Cashman in over the Soviet line. Going after Lutsenko. Zagankov knocked it out to Vikulov. Vikulov over the line. And his shot went off Doak over the glass.
52 seconds left, and in our intermission, our second intermission, and Howie Meeker will have special highlights from this game. A great game it's been from the Boston Garden.
And for this face-off, deep in Boston territory, there you're looking at Maltsev, who got that third goal for the Soviets. He's between Harlamov and Mikhailov. The defense playing up. Park has it. Park takes his time. He's a smoothie. Gives it to Dallas Smith. Smith along the boards. He's checked by Mikhailov. Rattel is looking on. Smith has it. Now Harlamov. Maltsev trying to get it in front. Rattel to the left side to Marcotte to Rattel. He shoots it to the corner. Spots in there after Gusev. Now we have 22 seconds left. Puck in the center ice area. Rattel took that pass offside from Park. And Park did not like that delayed call.
No, I don't know whether it was offside. I don't think it was. I think the puck didn't come out of the blue line. But the one thing I noticed out here right now is that Marcotte is just staying right with Mikhailov in this play here, on this particular shift.
Vasiliev deep in his own zone. Mikhailov up on the left side. Gusev doing some skating in his own zone. Rattel doing the forechecking. And that's the end of the second period. 5 goals in the period. Soviets getting 3 of them. Who got the other 2?
You can see that the shots on goal after 2 periods of play. Boston Bruins 27. The Red Army team 13. Bruins took 8 in that period.
Rattel. And it's going to be Rattel going to center for Boston. Marcotte on the left side and Schmaltz on the right wing. And for the Soviets, Shliptov, Alexandrov, and Vikulov. Now play is underway. Luchenko in his own zone, dropped it on the boards for Shliptov. Here's Schmaltz with it, and he fired it to the far side from the sharp angle. Off the boards, down the ice it goes. Gilbert clearing it. Vikulov. Shliptov missed that pass, and Schmaltz cleared it to the corner. Vikulov rammed in on the board, taken out of the play by Dallas Smith, and Park starts out. Park coming up on the left side. Park is in on the line. He shoots at a big save there by Tretiak. A brilliant play by Park. Bang, bang all the way. Vikulov to Alexandrov. He missed it. It's centered. There's the shot. They score! The Gankov on that long shot from the blue line. And it happens all the time. When the goalie comes up with a big save in the other end, the other team comes back and scores.
How many times have we seen that happen in hockey? Here it is here. First off, a good drop pass. He actually missed it and just turned around and wheeled it right out in front and comes straight back to the point. And he just beat Joe. That was it.
4-2 the score now. Red Army in front of the Boston Bruins after Brad Park went down ice, made a fine play, might have passed over to Forbes on it. They failed to score. Red Army came right back and got their 4th goal.
Gusev clearing it on the left side. Down the ice it goes. That's Edestrand after it, being watched by Mikhailov. Harlamov on the other side, working it along the boards, taken out the play by Edestrand. Shepard's pass failed to click. Mikhailov back into his own zone, hands it off. Maltsev, a good move against Busick. Passing it back. Harlamov trying to get it. Now it's picked up by Maltsev. He lost it as shot. Gusev's shot hit Doak. Another shot, a high by Gusev. What are you doing here, Brian? You're spilling stuff.
This little spilled ink or spilled milk.
That shot there really, I think, could hurt Doak. That shot could have hurt Doak. It just about got him in the face. Wow. That never ceases to amaze me, really, defensemen, how they could drop in front of the puck like that.
Wouldn't you like to play defense?
No, never.
I'll tell you, one defenseman out there that's played a great game is Vasiliev, Danny.
He's been a take-charge fellow out there, a real general in front of Tretiak. Forbes shooting it in. Now O'Reilly corrals it on the boards. Here's O'Reilly around the net. Gusev is after him. They both go down. Puck is cleared ahead to Harlamov. Harlamov hitting the line. Back checking was Savard. Harlamov cleared it in. Now Doak, a pass, and it's off Savard's stick into the corner. Vasiliev knocked to the ice by Forbes. Doak keeping it in. Harlamov to Mikhailov. Savard is watching him. Soviets leading the Bruins 4-2 in the 3rd period, and we have 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Here's O'Reilly coming back with Forbes, who takes it on the left side. Forbes passing it back. Here's Brad Park going in. Park takes the shot, and he flashes it wide. Savard along the boards. Gusev passing it to Popov, and he cleared it into the center ice area. Dallas Smith gently tipped it in on the left side. Vasiliev to Gusev ahead. Volchkov flashed it over the line. Schmaltz to Park up on the left side. Now back on the right wing. Schmaltz couldn't pick it up as it came off the board. Popov turning with Volchkov is on the right side. There's the pass to Volchkov, and it's offside.
From the Boston Garden, Super Series 76. Good look at all the sticks along that Soviet bench. Let's get back to the face-off and the play, Danny.
Face-off in the center ice area. Volchkov clearing it in. Soviet 4, Bruins 2 in the third period. Here is Park, bringing it out over the line. Comes to the left wing. Now he dashes in over the Soviet line into the corner. His pass goes off Kuzkin's stick. Popov is belted by Park. Now here's Rattel trying to get it in front. And Kuzkin cleared it to the other side. Kuzkin playing it into the center ice area. Dallas Smith turning at his own line. At center to the right side. And it went off Volchenko's stick. Popov to Volchkov. He's in over the line, dropping it back. Now Marcotte wheeling back with Rattel. Rattel is over the line, passing it back to Marcotte. He tried to get it in front. Kuzkin after it. It's back to the line and into the center ice area. Gary Doak winding it along the boards to the other side. Marcotte slashed it against Kuzkin and it went over the glass.
And Don Cherry rather concerned at this point in the hockey game with 15:58 left to play. Soviet Red Army 4, Boston 2.
Now Forbes getting it out of the point. Gibson shoots it. Another shot. Loose puck in front of the net. Hodge takes the shot. Tretiak is down.
Hodge got the shot up, but not quite high enough and not quite into the corner of the net, right at Tretiak. Close call there for the Bruins.
When you're that close to O'Brien, I don't think you really have time to look. You just have to shoot it as quick as you can.
Well, you seem to find the openings when you shoot them, Phil.
Bruins, everybody up. Hodge playing it in for Gibson. He's against the Gankov. Now Hodge takes the Gankov in on the boards. They struggle for possession. Hodge still going after. Great work by Hodge. Back to Doak. Doak takes the shot. And he's 3 or 4 feet wide. Let's see. We're going to have penalty or penalties here. Hodge is going to go off, I think.
Might be 2 of them, Danny. Number 6 may go as well. Tonight's game is coming to you from the Garden in Boston.
Number 6.
Let's see if we can catch it here, Dan and Bill. Number 6 and Hodge.
2 minutes.
Zagankov and Hodge took
Slashing.
penalties there.
Well, look at him. He's all over Hodge. Really.
Boston penalty to number 8.
There's a shot from the point by Sims. Vasiliev couldn't clear it against Forbes. Gibson goes in there. Back to Park over the other side. Here's Sims going in for the shot. Loose puck in front of the net after Tretiak had made another brilliant save. Nikulov fires it wide. Now it comes to the line. Vasiliev back into Nikulov. Nikulov passing it toward the corner. Gluktov watching Sims carefully. Teams are playing 5 aside. The Bruins, Gibson starting out. Ahead to Forbes. He's upended by Vasiliev. A solid check, and he's quite a defenseman, no question.
Excellent defenseman, right, Phil? Vasiliev, number 5.
He's one of the good hip checkers that I've seen in the game of hockey, that's for sure. He lines you up and he hits you pretty well with it.
He's got a little cut over that eye, too. Again, here's the check.
The hip check there.
Cashman back at his own line. Sims giving it off to Park. Park back to Sims into the center ice area. Mikhailov played it to Harlamov. Back to Mikhailov. And he rolls it into his own zone. Big Gusev. Playing it out. He almost put it right on the stick of Shepard. However, Harlamov is down with Mikhailov. And it's broken up. Here's Brad Park. Back for Boston. Park over the line. Park still with it. Park clearing it into the corner. Now Sims playing it behind the net. Cashman missed it. On the left side. Gusev over to Mikhailov. He's back into the center ice area. And we have a half-minute remaining in the penalties. To Hodge. That's to Gankov. Harlamov. Neat pass to Vasiliev. Coming down, clearing it in. It hits Sims. Shepard hands it off to Brad Park. 13 minutes and 42 seconds left in the third period. The Soviets leading by 2. Here's Cashman back in over the Soviet line. Back to Shepard, a high shot off Gretzky's right arm. Now Mikhailov behind the net. Cashman watching him. Vasiliev, a neat pass to Sagankov. Harlamov in over the line. Mikhailov going in, and he shot it along the ice just wide. Here's Hodge back into the center ice area. Fired it, and blocking was Gretzky. Hodge playing a great game for Boston. Here's the bird. He's upended, and the crowd holler for a penalty on that. Hodge playing a very aggressive game. Sagankov is bodied by Hodge. Here's the bird. Neatly, he goes to the right side. Savard over the line. The shot. Petziak with it. Now along the boards. Here's O'Reilly centering it. And Gusev starts out the pass to Popov. Popov over the line. Blocked. He gets the rebound. A weak shot wide on the backhand. Now the Bruins. Savard into the center ice area. O'Reilly has it. Then had to go back for it. And he hands it off to Doak. Doak ahead to Nowak. He was checked by Kuzkin. Cleared it in again. And Kuzkin returned it back into the center ice area. Nowak. Ahead to O'Reilly. O'Reilly swings over to the left side. Played it in. And Kuzkin knocked it out. 4-2, the Soviets in the lead here in the third period. They struggle at close quarters. Volchenkov at the line. Volchkov turning back. Now Volchkov is upended by Savard. A solid shot just inside the Soviet line. Now a clearing pass. Hits Savard. Dallas Smith ahead to Nowak. Into Savard. Here's Savard shooting it to the short side. Kuzkin took it in on the board. O'Reilly has it along the boards against Solodukin. Nowak goes in there too, and the play is stopped.
And again, we check the shots on goal. To this point, Boston 35, Red Army 14. Red Army's had only...
Not indicative of the ability of the team.
No, you can't, because the Russians, every time they get a shot, they make it count.
Now Luchenko. Vikulov. Now it's Luchenko again. Circling back. Hands it off to Shlukov. He gives it to Vikulov. Ran into Markov. Now Sims chasing it. There's Alexandrov. He scores! All out clear by the Bruins, and you can't give that little fella number 11, Alexandrov, an opportunity like that.
Yeah, let's give credit where it's due. This Alexandrov has just been sensational, Phil.
Right there, it's really it's a mistake by Al. Al makes a mistake there, and they score a goal. Watch, he has the puck. Now he's uncertain what to do, and you know what? I mean, he made a mistake, but here's a kid that hasn't been playing regular. He's out on the ice against the Russians. He's nervous, and he makes a mistake, and they score a goal.
And now it is 5-2. The Soviets leading by 3. Mott at his own line. Comes down on the right wing. Hits the Soviet line. He was upended. Now Mott's going down again. Let's see. Player injured.
I can't...
Who is
number 6? That's Sagankov, who scored the goal earlier in the period, then took a penalty with Hodge. This is Super Series 76 from the Garden in Boston.
You know, that's what you call utter frustration. Schmutzy went in and gave him a real good, hard, high stick, cross-check, whatever you want it. And that's just because they're frustrated. Watch this.
There's Schmutz.
First he gets knocked down there. Yep. Now he's really angry. He just goes right in, high sticks him. No doubt about a penalty. None.
So Schmutz in the penalty box. Harlamov. He scored the first 2 goals for the Soviets in this one. Headman's the puck to Maltsev. Harlamov picking it up. He bounces into the center ice area. Over the line, offside, is number 8, Maltsev.
Oh, that's a pretty line to watch, though. The way they break out of their own zone and That's just remarkable, that puck control.
You know, when Petrov wasn't playing, I thought they'd be, I thought that this line wouldn't be as effective, but I remember that these three guys played together in '72.
And Petrov is my kind of hockey player.
I like him too. I really do.
He's a beautiful hockey player. So 10-10 left in the third period. 5-2 for the Soviets. Brad Park in Soviet territory. Mikhailov. Gusev ahead to Harlamov. Harlamov doing some fancy cavorting in there over the line. Centering away to Bond. And Maltsev was robbed there by Gilbert. Wasn't that a thing of beauty, the way they passed that around? Now into the center ice area. Here's Forbes back in over the line. Cutting in. Forbes is stopped by Vasiliev. Shepard was upended by Harlamov. Here's Brad Park. Park shoots it off toward the corner. Vasiliev playing it ahead to Mikhailov. And we have 43 seconds left in the penalty. Mikhailov with Maltsev. Mikhailov is upended by Edestrand, and he went flying to the air. He does this with a great deal of flurry. Now the Soviets, a fake pass by Gusev. Now he gets it to Vikulov into the center ice area to the right side. Gluktov has it. Gluktov giving it to Luchenko. A shot and a leg save by Gilbert. Luchenko another shot, and he hit Edestrand in front. Edestrand clearing it out to Gankov, to Alexandrov, over to Vikulov. Back it goes to Shutkov into the corner. Now Schmotz is back on the ice. The Gankov losing it to Savard, and Shutkov was there to take over for the Soviets. So the Soviets, with 8:23 left in the third period, have that 3-goal cushion, 5-2. And they are pretty much in command right here. Shutkov at the line. Now here's Savard. In the center ice area, good move by Savard to get by Popov. Then he's taken out of the play. By Luchenko, who fell. To Gankov. Coming out with Solidukin, who sweeps away from Savard. Got away from Marcotte. Solidukin shooting it in. Caroms it off the board. Volskov is out there now. Solidukin along the board, struggling with Gibson. And it is Edestrand. He plays it to the right side. Here's Schmott. Marcotte is on the left wing. Edestrand takes the pass, and it's called on the offside.
7:33 left. Remaining in the third period, the score is the Soviet Red Army 5, the Boston Bruins 2.
It is Hodge on the right side. Gibson at center. Cashman on the other wing. Solidukin out with Volkov and Popov. Now Hodge. Hodge working off the boards. The angle almost impossible. Now Gibson at the point, keeping it in. Here's Gibson working it in there. Cashman a shot to the short side. Kuzkin plays it out over the line, and Brad Park takes over. Park back in his own zone. Into the center ice area. Cleared it to the corner. Volchenkov in there to take over for the Soviets. Popov couldn't get it. They jam in on the board. Now Hodge after it into the corner. Cashman is going after Volchenkov. Here's Hodge again. Hodge goes to the other side. He centered it, and it goes off Kretziak's stick. Popov works to the line, lost it. He gets it again. Solidukin down in over the line. He took a stick across the right arm. Now, Popov playing it back to Gusev. Mikhailov on the ice. Here comes Harlamov and Maltsev. And that is the line, the ever-dangerous line for the Soviets. Now Gusev playing it to Harlamov. Doak took a slash at it. Now in over the line. Forbes tried to set up a Hodge. Vasiliev is roughed up on the board by Hodge. It's passed back, and the Soviets break out. Harlamov over to Maltsev. Mikhailov is getting in front. It goes to the far wing, and O'Reilly ahead to Forbes. Forbes over the line. There's the shot. Forbes scored on a fairly long shot for the first goal of the game early in the second period. Now Harlamov against Rattel. It's loose. Maltsev to Gusev, and the Russians just passing it back and forth. And it's flicked into the air by Vasilyev. 5:13 left in the hockey game. Soviets 5 and the Bruins 2. And of late, there has not been an indication that the Soviets are going to crack. Here's Alexandrov passing it toward the corner. In there goes O'Reilly. Alexandrov stops it. He centered it high into the air, and Gilbert gets it.
4:51 on the clock. As you say, they're not going to crack. Game 6 of Super Series 76 is coming to you live from Boston. Thank you, Phil Esposito. He's got a plane to catch, and he's done a great job for us here tonight, Danny.
If the Soviets win this one, they will have won the series. Am I right? That will be the 4th victory, and in that a tie has crept into the scheme of things with 2 games remaining. There's a good pass to Shepard, but it's knocked off his stick by Lechenko. Dallas Smith ahead to Busick. Busick over the line, and Sagankov got in front of it. Brad Park to Cashman. And this is Soviet wherever the Bruins move. Here's Vikulov coming in on the right side. Dallas Smith in there to cover up and take over for the Bruins. Dallas Smith having difficulty. Now Shluktov works his way into the corner. Alexandrov is belted by Shepard. Bruins starting out on the right side. Cashman shooting it in. Sagankov playing it ahead out over the line. Dallas Smith ahead to Busick. Alexandrov shoots it in over the line. And we have 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in the hockey game. And as far as this capacity Boston crowd is concerned, I think for this game, most of their entertainment came in the first period. It was a bristling first period. Bristling action all the way. Now, Volkov down in on the right side against Edestrand. Edestrand ahead to Busick. Busick comes to center. He's checked by Solidukin. Busick still with it. Gives it to Savard. A shot. Here's Savard again. And he flicked a harmless shot actually to the side that Tretiak got.
From the Garden in Boston, Super Series 76.
And the big clock over center ice, that's the Garden. Shows the time remaining, 3:10. The period is the third. 5-2 for the Soviets. Doak takes the shot right on. Rebound. Tretiak seemed to be partially screened on that. Now Doak again fired it. And a stick above the shoulder. Made contact apparently. And the Bruins did not like that.
Concerned about Dombrowski and his lack of experience, perhaps, and the fact that he might step down very hard. But I think all in all, he's done a creditable job here tonight.
Now, let's say this. The Soviets are not winning the game in a deficiency of officiating. There's a shot at a sharp angle. Now it's Doak keeping it in. Doak going after it again. Maltsev out over the line. Feeds it ahead to Harlamov. Harlamov a shot. And it was blocked by Edestrand. He cleared it up on the left side. Rattel over the line. Gives it to Marcotte, to Schmott. Here's Schmott. Making a good move. Has to chase it to the corner. Schmott ran into the official. Rattel looking for it. Mikhailov coming out. Over on the right side to Maltsev. Back to Mikhailov. Into Harlamov. He jammed it on the backhand. And it went off Edestrand in front of the net. Now puck back into the center ice area. Marcotte coming down to the line. He's over the line on the backhand. Centering it. Tretiak knocked it away. It's kept in by Marcotte. Here's Rattel over to Schmott, and his shot was a rising shot 3 or 4 feet over the top of the net. Soviets shoot it down the ice, and it's icing against the Army team. 1:43 left.
Danny, the Soviets said they came.
The student could become the professor.
Right. Now into the center ice area. Mikhailov looks off, has it, he circles, takes the shot, and he's Gilbert. Got in front of it, and now the shot's on goal 39 for Boston, 18 for the Soviets.
Some of those Bruin shots a little off target. The others that were on Tretiak, he did a tremendous job at stopping.
And most of the Soviet shots have been really tough shots. Now Nowak is stopped. He goes back into the center ice area, cleared it in. And many of his capacity crowd of 15,003 left in the third period.
Now, on Saturday, it will be another international game. The Islanders hammering in Buffalo to win last night in Chicago.
Dallas Smith in behind the net. Gibson is turning on the left wing. He takes the pass. Gibson out over the line. Ahead to Nowak. Now Gibson carries on. His shot, he shot that with the puck on in. And it went over the glass.
If they were not in condition, if they had a wealth of injuries, if they were not really up for this fine a game of hockey, I think tonight as they are probably capable of playing through this season. But the Soviet Red Army Club was just a little too much for them in almost every department.
The Bruins period, of course, despite the fact they didn't get a goal, I think was in that first period. They ran into Tretiak. He was very, very hot.
Now here's Park coming in. Pass intercepted by Vasiliev. Ahead to center. Dallas Smith to Hodge. Hodge over the line. Gusev is after him. Hodge around the net. Now Nowak in the corner. Centered it. Gibson waited too long. Right in front. A shot by Gibson. But it didn't have much on it. And Tretiak was there. 26 seconds left. Right down the ice it goes. Gilbert to Dallas Smith. And the Bruins will have to hustle to get another offensive effort into operation. See if they can get another goal. That's about all that matters right now. Gibson in over the line. The Soviets break it up. Dallas Smith clearing it in. 5 seconds. Vasiliev, an outstanding performer tonight. Ahead to Mikhailov. And the game is over. Soviets 5 and the Boston Bruins 2.
There's the hero for Central Red Army, among many heroes tonight. The biggest, perhaps, Tretiak, the brilliant goaltender. Shots on goal, Boston 40, Red Army 19. They congratulate each other. And the only consolation, I suppose, is there's only one Tretiak playing hockey in the Soviet Union. The other goaltenders might not be quite up to his excellence.
I wouldn't be too certain there's only one Tretiak.
Well,
keep your eyes open.
We didn't see them in Buffalo last Sunday, let's put it that way.
The goaltending was bad in that game, no question about it.
But you could go down the list here. Alexandrov,